Hey, this is Mike, and it's Monday, September 28th, and we're in the pre-market, and the market is up pretty strong, almost up 1%. Right now it's about 4:15 a.m. Yet Friday, the market was up 1.62, and we have really strong performance. It finished almost at the high of the day, and looks like we may have a strong open. So this will be very important to get that follow-through day because we did not get that follow-through day last week where we had a strong performance and then the market sputtered. So if we could get that follow through day, that will really help to let the S&P 500 rally over the next wave here. We are still below the 50-day moving average on the S&P. Will like to buy when the S&P 500 crosses the 50-day moving average. So right now, I would say, the best thing I would do is just start watching stocks and put together a list of stuff that you want to buy. Personally, I am looking at one of my favorite stocks right now is GameStop, and I'm doing cash secure puts on those. Definitely take a look at the tech stocks because we're heading towards November, December. That's when you have the Santa Claus rally. So definitely take a look at the usual suspects: Apple, Amazon. Also take a look at Shopify, Etsy, ETSY. But go ahead, take a look at the EV plays that may rise along with the tech. But the one thing I wanted to make a focus on this video today was to talk about Tesla, which I don't really talk about because there's so many YouTubers who talk about Tesla. So I didn't want to really talk about it unless I could bring something, a unique angle. And so what I wanted to talk about was a Twitter thread that Kathy Woods, who is the chief investment officer at ARK Investments, just came out with about 6 hours ago. And she basically talked about the negative reaction to Tesla stock on battery day and why she felt it's unwarranted. And I really think it's a great thread. So it starts here. The thread starts out. Predictably, when Elon Musk announced at Battery Day last week that Tesla would cut the price of the Model 3 to 25,000, several financial analysts panicked, downgraded the stock, or cutting their price targets. In our view, traditional finance analysts have missed the mark. Now, just to clarify, Elon Musk did say in a response that they are not reducing the Model 3 to 25,000. In fact, Tesla will be coming out with a model that's smaller than the Model 3 that will be at 25,000. But the critical part here is this would put an EV car from Tesla at about the same price of a bargain price conventional gas powered vehicle, which would be the big disruption for EVs. So, according to Scaris Arc, that's just another employee, battery research, EV sales will scale nearly 20-fold from roughly 1.8 million last year to 35 million, 40% of total global auto sales in the next 5 to 6 years. Now, Elon Musk did clarify here in a response that he feels it's closer to 6 years than to 5 years, but still, in 6 years, it basically means 40% of global vehicle sales will be EVs. The auto industry has not enjoyed exponential growth in roughly 100 years. EVs have entered exponential growth territory and will last for the next 5 to 10 years. This is key, and this is why, as I stated in the title, I believe that Tesla will double over the next 24 months. That gives you a 50% return, 12 months, and then 24 months, a 100% return, because you're going to get that exponential growth, which hasn't happened in the automotive world in over a century. And Tesla just far and away the leader. I mean, you always, when you have these exponential growths, you want to go with the leader. It's kind of like 20 something years ago with Amazon. Amazon was the leader in e-commerce, even though there were literally in the late 90s hundreds of e-commerce companies. The biggest and the best, the one with the best advantage, rises really the fastest, and then more importantly, maintains those gains. So I would definitely, if you've been on the sidelines with Tesla, look at the fact that Tesla pulled back. This is a great buying opportunity. This is definitely, even though the stock is sitting at with a market cap of $375 billion, it will double to $750 billion. But consider the fact that EV sales will become 40% of global auto sales. You're having an exponential event. So you should expect an exponential growth in the market cap of Tesla. So that's something to keep in mind here. So how can you play Tesla? Well, obviously, you can just buy the stock. That's kind of the easiest approach you can look. You can also, if you want to play with options, and just to show you a note here, in pre-market, Tesla's up 3.5%. So it looks like it'd be pretty strong. And just to look at the chart here, it's kind of jagged here, but still, if you look over the long term, this is a stock that I think in 24 months will double. But just as I was talking about, you can buy the stock long, you can play with options. It's kind of hard because Tesla options are so expensive. But one thing you can do that can help keep your costs down is to do an out of the money debit spread. So you basically not invest in a lot of money, and it is a little bit of a gamble because you could lose everything. But I would do, if you want to gamble, since I'm thinking that this stock is going to double in 24 months, look at opening up a call debit spread. And this is something I'm going to do. Open up a call debit spread that's 50% out of the money that expires um, two years from now. So that should not be a lot of money. It might be $1,000 or a couple $100, but that, if Tesla does double, that could give you a 10x return on that debit spread. So that's a way to really get more for your money. But then you have to realize that if I'm wrong, then that's money that you can lose. But the bottom line is this definitely. If I had to pick one stock that I was pretty sure was going to double over the next 24 months, it would definitely be Tesla. And that's just, again, that exponential growth in EV batteries and the fact that Tesla's a leader. And that's not to say that there are other EV companies that won't be competitive as well. I think you're going to have other EV startups. Lucid Air could be some competition, but the thing is, there won't be competition at scale. I think a company like Lucid Air will have a great EV high-end car, like $100,000 six-figure car that will compete with the Model S, but they're obviously a decade away from coming up with a mass-produced average price car. And then also Tesla's just so far ahead with technology and data. Tesla has literally billions of miles of driver data, and that will help them out. And also, you add to the fact that you have companies that pay Tesla hundreds of millions of dollars in carbon offset credits and all the other things, and they have so many factories and just so much advantages going on. So another thing that you can do is just wait for when Tesla pulls back, because I do think we are going to get a market pullback, a general market pullback in early 2021, because I do think the second wave of the coronavirus is going to hit and it's going to just take down everything. People are just going to panic and sell. So you may see some advantages there to buy. So if you feel like it's too expensive or it's gotten away from you, just wait for pullbacks. And you're definitely going to get those pullbacks. So now that I talked about Tesla, I'm just going to talk, because this is my favorite stock, and I just want to talk a little bit about GameStop. And what I like about GameStop too is that it's a cheap stock. It's at $10 a share. So you can do, if you have like $850 or $900, you can do a cash secure put. Wait maybe for the price of GameStop to come down. Now, traditionally, when a stock rises like 5% over 2 weeks, it naturally gets a pullback just to consolidate. And what I'm doing with GameStop right now, I'm doing those cash secured puts so I can collect income or just acquire the stock at a cheaper price. I have a cash secured put on GameStop expiring this Friday at $9.50. So if I don't get it, that's fine. I collect the income on the cash secured put expiring. If it does fall to the $9.50 level, I own the stock, and I'd be happy to do a covered call and own the stock. And finally, I just wanted to talk about gold and silver, because people are not talking about gold and silver because gold and silver are not moving. However, when you look at the price, when you look at the cost of countries are spending on the pandemic, and I think the dollar is going to be devalued, gold is going to be a winner. I mean, you look at the 5-year chart of gold, it has risen pretty steeply, so it needs to pull back. It probably should pull back to about the 160 level, consolidate and move up from there. But this is something to look at because nobody's looking at it. So this is a way to get some nice alpha over the next year or two. And then also you'll want to take a look at silver. Silver also moves in tandem with gold, but it is more volatile. So this is something else that you want to maybe take a look at. Here's a 5-year chart of silver. It did less than gold, but it had this really violent rise and pullback. So it probably needs to pull back probably to where it was hanging out, maybe around the 18 level, consolidate. And then I think in 2 years it could move up to new highs. In fact, I would say my number one pick for doubling in 2 years would be Tesla. And then my number 2 and 3 pick would be, number 2 would be silver, and then number 3 would be gold. Because I do think we're going to have inflation, devaluation of the dollar, like all those issues that we've been able to put off for the past 30 years. is going to come to reckoning. Is going to come to reckoning at some point in time. You just really can't spend so much money and not bear the consequences to that. So keep gold and silver in the back of your mind as you watch, maybe your favorite tech stocks or EVs or other stocks. So that's it for my update for today. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, turn on the notifications. I come out with videos before market opens every weekday, and I also come out with special reports on the weekend. Okay? Thanks a lot. Bye.